Well, good morning to you, good morning. It's 7:30, Monday, 14th of March 2022. It's that time of day for having a short perambulate and a little look at things and a time to decide what it is we're going to do today. Well, we might start by taking the dead flower off that daffodil, narcissus, and that dead flower. And yeah, what shall we do today? There's lots to be done. I'm starting the stack of wood for next winter, and that all looks pretty sort of wet and soggy at the moment. Hardly a surprise, because we have had a goodly drop of rain, so I suppose that's something we can do to start with. We can flood France by emptying my wheelbarrow. Having emptied it, we might think about what we're going to fill it up with. I'll leave that to run for a little bit longer. Yes, we also had a mild frost here last night. Not severe, and fortunately none of the fruit trees have flowered yet, so that's not a problem. This is the quince tree. I wonder what it's going to do this year. That's the thing, none of us know the future, none of us know what our trees are going to do, or what the world is going to do to us today. I do like to poke my nose over the fence and look at what my neighbour Alan has got going on. He's got some good looking leeks. He's been out there with his cultivator and turned all the dirt over. Well, the first thing I did, knocked up some pudding, enduit de glissage, and tied it up round that little window frame. What I find the trick with all of these sorts of fillery jobs is you push the filler in, you get it as smooth as you can, and then you forget about it until tomorrow morning when we'll dust it over with some sandpaper. Yeah, pleased with that. Well, we'll put some seeds out where the sun can warm them up and encourage them. There's a bit of a story. There's always a bit of a story. I had some packets of seed which, according to the label on the packet, were very out of date, so I didn't have much hope for them. But I chucked them in some dirt, and there they are. These, of course, for those of you that don't know, are leeks. At this stage of growth, it's very difficult to tell the difference between leeks and onions, but these are leeks, Musselburgh Giant, and these are Brussels sprouts. So yeah, we'll put them where they get the benefit of the sun and the fresh air. Yeah, and the inspector is up the steps to see whether the work I've just been doing is any good, or to play with a bit of string, who knows. Then there's jobs to be done that you've been sort of putting off. Water heater, ceiling, wall, needs finish plastering above and behind, and that involves me going up steps, and yeah, that will be comical. All along here I've already sort of pushed a lot of plaster in. That was comical enough, but getting up there to sort of put a nice smooth finish on it is, yeah, acrobatic. Well, I've ummed and ahed, and I've looked at the time, and I've thought about various priorities like lunch and such likes. This is a job for this afternoon, sort of finish plastering in there, but that doesn't mean that I haven't got other things to do. What I'm doing up the top of the steps is cleaning up where I'd done some plastering and what have you. So yeah, just touching that down with a nylon brush in the drill, just to make that prettier. Well, lunch has been had, and looking at those leeks and Brussels sprouts, I might even have lunch later in the year. But that does mean that I've now run out of excuses for not getting on with this job. Looking at it, I've got to work in this space here, standing on a ladder, and it's going to be interesting getting in there with the trowel. I know this because, as you can see, I've already whacked some plaster in there, and it's then going to be really interesting troweling plaster onto the ceiling. Yeah, I suppose mixing some plaster is my next job. After a cup of tea?